social audio. There were like 60 people yesterday. So, hi, Avichal, how are you?
Sir, good morning. I'm okay.
Good, good. I have not seen you lately. So,
Yes, sir. How have you been?
I've been great. See, I'm going to
Nice.
talk about proactive wellness, which you have been missing. But I started like a movement, you know. So, whoever comes in, I would advise listen as though this is you. You are trying to really, um, you know, observe yourself in this talk and then apply them to you. Okay? So that way, it's not just a talk, it's going to be much better for you. Okay? So
Okay, sir.
it's like giving a tip of how to go about it. It's not that you're following somebody, but you're kind of assessing yourself, you know. So that way you really understand this is happening in our lives here and now, and then we can do employ. But I'm going to discuss with you what is this PAW, 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 I named it, why we should be listening to me, and then why you should be doing anything that I am talking about. It's obviously it's not given in a coercive way or converting way or anything like that, but it's like a developing our own inner skills of living, and then go by that. Okay, so that's what we're going to start at 9 o'clock, and it's almost a couple of minutes. And there are some friends joined on new vibe. Let me say hello to all of them. Uh, Hello, Mabel. Hi, Arlene. Hello, Lisa, Abdul Rahman, Julio Torres, Jennifer Floyd. Welcome, welcome to all. This is going to be important expose of what's going on in the healthcare field and why we have to take responsibility for our own health and wellness, and what are the simple things that I suggest that you do. There are a series of talks I did lately. So if you are really interested, go there and find out some of the details. Or if you have any thoughts or ideas or suggestions or comments or criticisms, come up and tell me or send me DMs. I'll be fine. Okay. So I'm going to start now. Welcome, everybody. This is Dr. Avukolusu. I am currently CEO and Chief Wellness Officer of PAW, which is an online wellness company. So my thing is, I worked as a physician for so many decades and I've treated so many illnesses. I was always trying to get to my patients to the root cause of the diseases that we have, and how we could really work on that by changing our lifestyles, by changing our understanding of how we do anything. And in the process, I had the privilege and the fortune of getting exposed to the ancient wisdom, especially from India. And that has changed a lot for me. And I have learned a lot of things I could use with my own power. And don't have to really go after the medical care and wait for the illness to really bloom. It whispers, the body and mind whispers to us that this is not right in your daily life. So all I want to do is just share some of that with you, but also as a physician, as a healthcare person, as a policy interest with me. So I have been involved in not just my practice, but also what's going on around the world, right? So from all that, this has evolved into what we call PAW, PAW. Remember that name? And I want that to be a movement, maybe starting with each one of you. Okay, you don't have to give me anything, or you don't have to pay anybody anything, but just understand where the wisdom is coming from, what is this all about, and how it can make a difference in your life. That's all I want. Okay, so it's like a reclaiming our vitality in the body, energy, right? Vitality, not just surviving, but surviving vitally. Clarity, clarity in our uh, mind, in our thinking, in our pursuits, whatever. So reclaim the vitality and clarity and age meaningfully. So this is a world that desperately need a new approach to health and human flourishing. That's what I think it is possible also. That is the big thing about it is it is possible also. Okay, so you do that, then you will be. So there is a paradox in the modern living. The modern paradox we are living is we are standing at a crossroads in human history. Our technological capabilities have never been greater, and it's going to be much more with the AI coming in. Yet, our inner peace that feels increasingly elusive. A lot of people are restless, a lot of people are confused. So, lack of inner peace. You know what I'm talking about, okay? So, we have access to sophisticated medical interventions, yet genuine vitality seems to be disappearing from our daily lives. That is true, isn't it? So that is always there. So we enjoy unprecedented material comfort and conveniences that our ancestors could never have imagined. Yet chronic illness has become the norm rather than the exception. Everybody aging in America, most of them are really chronically ill with something. Okay, we don't have to be. Then we are living longer than ever before. Okay, the 80s, 90s, and yet many of us we face the aging process that feels depleted of meaning, purpose, and joy. They just exist like vegetables. There's nothing, no meaning, no purpose, and there's most importantly, no joy. But it is possible to be joyful even at any age. So, this paradox, technologically, comfort wise, so many things were very improved, but our inner life, our actual life, chronic illness, all this is a kind of paradox. Development, but then going down inner. This this is not a personal failure. It's a system level signal that something fundamental needs to shift as to how we approach wellness and flourishing as a human. Okay, so this is where I kind of um, got a lot from the modern medicine and also scientific understanding of our earth and elements, and also what did the ancients do? How did that? How can they have such a good life? When we understand that, then everything is much easier. Okay, so you don't have to go back and live there, but you understand where we are and what is that we could draw from that, and combine modern medicine on the scientifically based and ancient wisdom based on that wisdom of the ancients. Say, the quality of modern life is declining. Anybody who is paying attention to that, if you are looking for the quality of modern life, that is declining. Despite our advances, the lived experience of modern life has become increasingly difficult for millions of Americans and other people around the world. If you feel exhausted, even after a full night's sleep, you are not alone. This is the reality. Many have Many of us have to go through every day. We navigate daily, right? Okay, I will give you five different areas that you could take note. I'm sure you already know about them. I'm just putting them in context. Why the quality of modern life is declining. We have mental overload, information overload. too much information going around, right? That is something that we all have. You know, um, this is a constant stimulation. You see, um, so many emails, so many notifications. We know all that. So, what does it do? The constant digital stimulation, it creates a restless, never settling mind. It's always restless. So unable to find peace. There's a large part of it, and it's going to be more as we go into the AI. Okay, and but you have to know how to maneuver that. I am an informatician. I do use information, but I don't let it overwhelm me. There's a way. That's why I'm saying. But this is a fact that we are exposed to too much mental overload and sedentary living. See, our bodies are designed to move, yet all the modern routines, many of them, they keep us still. Sitting in the car, sitting in the sofa at home, going traveling by car, and really not really getting into um, movement all the time. So we go to the office, many of them sit down. So we say sitting is the new smoking, right? So that's second one. Mentally overload, restless, and physically you are having sedentary living wherever it is thrown at you. Everybody become obese, and all that. And then if you take the food, industrial food, see, ultra processed foods, they trigger systemic inflammation and metabolic dysfunction. So this is also responsible for the quality of life declining. So that's where we are. We're talking about mental overload, declining of the peace of mind, sedentary living, really making a lot of chronic diseases because of lack of activity, and the food. Then social fragmentation. Okay, most of the people are isolated. So communities have dissolved into isolation. So many processes are isolated. Okay, and they really all this process of isolation leave you profound loneliness in their wake. That is a fact. People are lonely. Suicidal tendency has grown up, and that's a big worry for us. Okay, and then chronic pressure, relentless work demands, they create burnout and keep our nervous systems in perpetual stress mode. That's the thing. Do you have perpetual stress mode or not? It's not that how busy you are, but how you are working with it. So these five, remember, mind, mental overload, body, sedentary living, and bad food. And the third one. And the fourth one is we are socially fragmented, increasingly lonely. And then chronic pressure demands, so many relentless work demands. So these four, five things are really making our quality of life go down, like anything. If you take it as a society, if you take it as a human tribe, this is a lot for us. Okay, this is going on, and if you take the healthcare expenditure for all these things that are going on with us, health wise, so healthcare spending versus population wellness. If you take it, uh, 20% of the GDP is on healthcare in United States, one out of every $5. So that is the fact in United States. Roughly one out of every $5 in our entire economy is spent on healthcare. Yet, United States ranks poorly in health outcomes. See, it's a dream that EMR will come and help us healthcare outcomes. No, it actually is causing more burnout with the physicians, with the EMR. But if you take the chronic disease numbers, if you take 10 American adults, six in 10 American adults live with at least one chronic disease. This is a fact, despite unprecedented medical billing. So this is not a healthcare system. I call this a sick care system. We are spending enormous resources treating late stage consequences instead of addressing upstream causes. See, the rising costs signal something crucial. What do they signal? Managing symptoms after disease appears is exponentially more expensive than cultivating wellness before problems emerge. So that's why I say this is a sick care system. Healthcare doesn't protect your health as much as it is doing the bandaging to the symptoms that you have. Okay. I don't have to blame the healthcare people because there's too overwhelmed, too much working and all that. But it's a question of what is the population doing about understanding where does our wellness stay? What is our responsibility to keep ourselves well? And what I argue is lot of things can be done at the individual level or society level or policy level or systems level, technological level and all that, right? But people are not really educated or oriented towards it. Okay, people get caught in a net, like they start to go to school, pressure starting in the kindergarten these days. We had glorious childhood, carefree. We don't see that. That's a big loss. Many of our kids are really having problems, and then adult problems are there for them. So always think about in this respect. These are the facts. One out of every $5 going to the healthcare. 6 out of 10 Americans have at least one chronic disease. Many of them have two or three. Most of my patients have at least three. That is what I dealt with most of the time. So this chronic illness epidemic we are witnessing right in front of say unprecedented expansion of chronic conditions across all age groups. Okay, asthma used to be early or late, but now everybody has asthma, COPD, smoking. See, this landscape of modern illness, that if you take a look at it paranormally, a troubling pattern. See, we are managing disease rather than cultivating genuine health. Metabolic disorders, diabetes, obesity, hypertension, and fatty liver disease, they are affecting millions. They often appear together as metabolic syndrome. Syndrome X, we used to call it. Okay. And now the second variety is inflammatory conditions. Autoimmune diseases and chronic inflammatory conditions are rising rapidly, affecting younger population. It used to be 50s, 60s, and now it is like a 30s, 40s. Many people have inflammation. Okay, we'll come to that everything later. Then there is tremendous amount of energy depletion. Sleep is not optimal, so we have a lot of sleep disorder. Chronic fatigue, that is very much really important. Okay, so and then chronic pain, persistent pain. My friend Peter, he deals with addictions, and he knows how big deal is this chronic pain is. Okay, persistent pain, acute pain. Okay, but then chronic pain persisting as a lifestyle. And so, apart from the metabolic disorders, we have that a inflammatory condition of the bodies, energy depletion. We have polypharmacy, medications. They list grow longer. I don't have any problem with the medication to be taken when you need it, but to take it unconsciously, to take it really without doing anything else, and going into too many medications necessarily results in side effects and also interactions and allergies and all that. Okay, so this list go longer, while your genuine vitality, that is important thing, that continues to shrink. People may have symptoms treated without restoring them to health. So somebody comes with high blood pressure, we get that down with the use of medications, either IV or whatever. And then when they go back, they have the same lifestyle of reacting to and getting anxious, getting fearful, and all that. That mental thing, and also lack of sleep, and also lack of real quietness in their mind, they get into trouble. Blood pressure keeps on going up. So, ways that people with high blood pressure are not given lifestyle modifications that will help them not to have the high blood pressure that quickly, but you can use medication at a lower dose, maybe fewer medications. That's my style. I made a living on cutting down on the patient's medications. Really, I'm very proud of that. But it requires diligence, it requires intelligence, it requires, on the part of the physician, also spirit of caring for my patient so that he will have vital life, not to have headaches, not to have strokes, not to have any number of illnesses that can go chronic renal failure you can have with your blood pressure. All those things are heart attacks. All those things are not there, right? So I may want to manage his blood pressure by monitoring it first and knowing what are the lifestyle triggers that are increasing his blood pressure, and making him aware, making him take responsibility for himself, and then that is something easily treatable that way. Okay, but many people still have the cardiac and events are very common. People have strokes, high blood pressures, and all that very, very easily. But you can have those, but still you can come back. Okay, so think about that. Okay, as we are looking at this chronic illness epidemic with all these metabolic disorders, inflammatory conditions, energy depletion, and polypharmacy, that is the reality. That is one big category I talked about, why we should be PAW. Second thing is the mental health crisis. It's not about just occurrence anymore, it's a crisis. So, beyond physical illness, we are experiencing a profound crisis of mental and emotional well being. Anxiety, epidemic. Not only anxiety, depression, but also attention fragmentation. See, this sickness is something deeper than just a biochemical imbalance. It reflects a way of living that has become fundamentally unsustainable. Information we talked about, constant data streams create unrelenting inner voice. Inner voice. Our minds never settle, never rest, never find stillness. But I say stillness is a function of the mind that you could touch and cultivate and continue on, right? Apart from the information coming in, we lost meaning. What is that life is about? What is that I am look forward to? I can be happy and joyful. I was talking to my sister and wife this morning, and we were having a discussion about what is the spiritual way of life in ancients, dubbed Adhyatmik Chintan. Inquire about life, the fundamentals of life, that results in not only resilience to handle suffering, Atyadhika Dukkha Nivrutti, but also gives you touch with the joy and peace and happiness you have within you. Paramananda Prapti. Joyful just for being a human being. I'm not exaggerating. This is actually true. You just have to go in and find out for yourself. It's not something I can give you like a drug. I can experience it. I can help you to locate it for yourself, but you have to do the work, right? Then not only information is really too much, but also we lost the meaning of life. Many people don't have the meaning. They may have meaning in making money, thinking that money will bring them a lot of happiness. Unfortunately, that's not true. Happiness cannot be found outside. It's as simple as that. But it is there all the time within you if you can tap it. But what is happening? Thought saturation. We live in our thoughts constantly. See, I tell the people, you guys are all in the mind. Come out of it, live in the present, be aware, and use the thought. But we let the thought build up and then default networks, building up thought networks that build up more thought. So you don't have any access to the spacious awareness beneath the mental chatter. Very important point here. You can test yourself. Do you have mental chatter all the time? Or do you have breaks of silence that you could enjoy? Or you are silent to begin with, still to begin with, and then use thought when you need and stop. This is what I do, what I've been telling you guys, and what I've been asking you to look for it yourself. Okay? So, see, the solution is not a better thought management or symptom suppression. It's not. It's a fundamental shift to awareness based living, where awareness is you're alert, awake, and you are aware without any thought moving. So it's a thoughtless state of awakeness, attention. That is awareness. Old ancient systems are all based on awareness. Yoga, Ayurveda, Vedanta, Chinese medicine, Japanese, all those things, if you take it, they are based on awareness. My thinking is all about awareness. What do I say? Get up in the morning, be aware of where you are, what you're going on, and all that. Don't say any comment. Stay in that state of awareness through the day. Then you're going to pay attention to everything as it is happening. Don't go into the network of thought of that world that is the one which brings you samskaras, pattern of thinking, and the patterns are reinforcing themselves by this auto network. Be aware of that, and then cultivate the silence every day. Cultivate to be in the awareness-based living where we remember the ground of being that exists prior to all mental activity. Mental activity is not everything. Mental activity is only one part of being human. Human beings physical, human beings have emotions, human beings have feelings, human beings have this awareness, human beings can be silent, can be really joyful. All these states are there as a human being. That is the human intelligence. What are you doing? Many of us just allowing the thing to go through us like no tomorrow. And we start in the morning thinking, reinforce it continuously, whether you are working or not, and then let the chatter build on itself and sleep on that. Again, next morning, you do the same. You have no mechanism. You may say, oh, I'm going to meditate, I'm going to tap it down. That may be a few minutes. Somebody has to give it to you and all that. But after that, you are again engaged in the mental chatter. Check yourself. Do you do that or you are not doing that? I don't have to say anything negative about it, but I'm saying human condition has become like that. So I took a look at it compassionately. Okay. So let's review what is proactive wellness versus sick care syndrome, right? Sick care model. We have reactive sickness happens, we react to it. That is the care model we have. See, we don't go and tell somebody, okay, are you eating well? Are you, that kind of thing. What we do is we wait for people to live whatever they want, they can live. And when they get sick, they are supposed to come to us and they're going to react to the sickness as a healthcare person, as a healthcare model. That's what I'm doing right now, right? In the hospitals, in this. But after I kind of retired from that clinic model, I am more into the wellness for myself, for my friends, for everybody. So I am now addressing the human problem around the world. Out of that, this proactive wellness has come. Okay, what does sick care system do? What does PAW, proactive wellness, do? Okay, waiting for diagnosis is when you are waiting for this reaction to happen, right? So people develop problems, and only after they become diseases they require medical labels of a diagnosis, treatment, and all that. So wait for the diagnosis mainly because we are waiting for the things to react. Sickness is there, symptoms are there. So I have pain, so I have to go and take. That is the current model. They do some preventive, but mostly hospital activities are responding because resources are few and urgency of the pain and everything is there. So we have to respond like that. But in proactive wellness, you build upstream, you develop resilience and vitality to deal problems by your own. Like you improve your immunity so that you won't get COVID. That means your lifestyles have to be changed. That's why it is a building upstream, cultivating resilience and vitality before problems emerge. That is there actually. We spoil it. In Ayurveda, they call that prakruti. As a lifestyle, we do vikruti. Ancient system about ratifying and resilient development of the vitality of the prakruti, maintaining that, encouraging that. But the modern system, nothing like. You go and smoke, you go and drink alcohol, and we'll say it's not good, we'll publish papers, but we don't give an effective mechanism of understanding what is this habit, why I'm developing this habit, what can I do, what do I understand as a human being, can I go beyond just this chatter of mine? I have done a talk on who is really wise, all these intellectual, clever people, or that sage who is silent, who is aware, and who can see the entire humanity as one whole and apply those solutions to that. I will do the talk later. But this is about building upstream the resilience and vitality that is needed to handle all the challenges that we encounter during the life. That's the first one. Reactive healthcare system is waiting for diagnosis to happen and then treat, and then leave them alone. But this proactive wellness cultivates resilience. Okay, that is one. And the reactive system usually suppresses symptoms. Symptoms are telling you there is something wrong. But the modern healthcare system, we intervene to quiet the body's sickness without addressing the root causes. We think that's not our job. We should not be working about it. Because if we work that, the insurance the companies are not going to reimburse us. If I educate a diabetic patient for about 2 or 3 hours, they give me the same $60. But if I put him in ICU with a DKA, then I'll get to thousands of dollars. That is the way the system is set up now. But in proactive wellness, it is going to restore your vitality because we address root causes to not only treat the symptoms but also regenerate authentic health and clarity. You're way away, but I'm going to show you how it is in your hand to do that. And in reactive healthcare system of the current generation, we have specialists, fragmented parts, separate special for each body. So no one sees the whole human being. More like I'm responsible for the cardiology, so blood sugar Dr. Kulsu has to manage. That's what the cardiologist used to tell me. Whereas in the ancient system, whole human, that's the proactive wellness is body, mind, heart, and spirit as one integrated system. Hatha Yoga, Raja Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, and Gnana Yoga. These are the yogas are all integrated one. That is the integrated system I use in my morning routine. You don't have to name them. You just take the principle and apply to it. So it works. Okay. And then there is a tremendous dependency on the healthcare system in the current reactive sick care model. Dependency is the short visits. Visits are 10, 15 minutes because somebody else, the insurance company will determine that how much time you have spent, how much, all that. Because they dictate to you, the administration also. You have to do 20 patients in 1 hour. I know one psychiatrist, he saw 60 patients in 1 hour. How could you see as a psychiatrist? He said, just write a prescription, take them home. So Visits are getting shorter and shorter because we are dependent on them and so many people are going there. And then long bills and ongoing reliance on external system for interventions and all that. Whereas the proactive wellness system is going to be demanding empowering by yourself. Daily practices, they create lifelong gains through personal responsibility and wise support. So we build the system upstream, cultivating resilience and vitality. We restore vitality. We treat the whole human being and we make them self empowered. That is proactive wellness. Okay. And this is not about courses. This is not about, uh, doing a lot of stuff. It's about how can I really learn to be self responsible about simple things. So I was doing series of rooms on that. You can go and check it out. What is that I do that is proactive wellness that anybody can do and anybody can get the benefit of it. Okay. So what is the proactive wellness central promise is not just absence of disease, but the presence of vitality, not just longer life, but better life. So years filled with energy, purpose, and meaningful engagement rather than mere survival. Not just coping, but flourishing, moving beyond stress management to authentic striving, and inner freedom. Not just health meaning, wellness that serves something larger than personal comfort, connecting us to purpose and contribution. Okay, this is the invitation of proactive wellness, a return to what it means to be genuinely, vibrantly alive, not surviving in the nursing homes on the medications. But you can avoid that kind of thing by understanding what is proactive wellness, what is that I can do. Okay, so I will go through a day of mine of how I do and how I learned and how I'm helping other people to pass. So there are five dimensions I kind of bring forth to anybody who wants to know about this. See, human beings are not just biological machines, as we said before. We are integrated systems where body, breath, mind, heart, and spirit, they interpenetrate and influence each other. We know that. This framework bridges modern physiology with ancient wisdom, remaining inclusive and practical rather than religious. Inclusive and practical. Body, energy management, mobility management, metabolic stability, and physical resilience. If you do that, your body moving all the time and doing stuff that help you to metabolize better and all that. Breath, you have deep breathing, it calms your nervous system, emotional steadiness, and self-regulation. Mind, focus is increased. There are so many things that we can learn. And then reduce reactivity. I talk about this all the time. Deep breath activates your vagus nervous system, which reduces your reactivity so that you can respond to things with taking a gap or something. In the morning routine, what I do, I tell you guys, don't go to work with a reactive mind. Curb that by understanding the deep breathing helps you and establish yourself in the non reactive mode of responsiveness to your duties. And then once you cultivate this spacious awareness, you will have the inner quiet also. Because you are established in your awareness, not in your thought patterns. Heart, you are compassionate, you are meaningful relationship, and then you have approach your work like a service to everybody with your heart. Heartfelt work. Connection is there at that. And then finally, spirit. See, you got to identify beyond stress. Your inner light and freedom. That is your deepest nature. That is what you are. In the morning routine, what I do? Shambhavi Mudra. Koham soham deham naham. I'm not just the body and mind. They are my tools. I am the witnessing consciousness. I do that with you guys every day. Understand what they are, why I put in there, why I explain every day. You just have to put in your mind into it and get it. So this way, body, breath, mind, heart, and spirit are in our way of managing, and then we can not reverse everything that we have developed so far, but you'll be kind and nice to you and cajole you and learn this thing. But always be on that. That is proactive awareness practice as well. Okay, you going to be proactive about whether you are moving, whether you are deep breathing, whether you are focusing, whether you are opening your heart and you're realizing who you are. That can be done in the daily life. Wake up in the morning, be aware, and use the thoughts as needed and end them. Take deep breaths, move the body, stretch the body. Try to focus on whatever you are doing. Pay attention to every action and open your heart and serve the life, serve the world. Don't expect everything to be paid for something. Open your heart. Let the mind calculation go away from you. And then realize you are the real inner spirit. Nothing religious about it. Really, we are not just a thinking mind or not moving the body. We are that sense of I which gives us a life, right? This is very important for us to be having a peaceful mind and all. So, what is the central promise we talked about, and what are the five dimensions you want to restore your proactive wellness by doing all these five things? Okay. So, let our living be the light for others. How we move, how we think, how we feel, how we contribute to the society, how we really establish our inner self. That is what it is. Your inner lamp is already lit. Proactive wellness helps you to remember it. It's already there. It helps you to remember it, tend it, and let it shine. Light of light that is inner, come, let is all in everybody. You just have to bring it out. So that is what I wanted to talk to you about. But I will engage with you if you have any questions or if you are interested in this. It's not about any course, anything that you have to do with me. It is about examining your lifestyle, understanding where it can lead to, and developing the knowledge to change yourself in life every day. Okay? Peter, you want to come up? Nobody else wants to come up usually, but I will welcome them to come too. But I would, my friend usually comes up and tells me what he thinks about that, how he is progressing and all. Anybody else, another chance also can come up. Uh, Obviously, this is not one talk. Okay, this is going to be practiced and also communicated to all my friends, family, and everybody. Because as a physician, as a yogi, my thing is I have touched that abundance within us, and I'm immensely benefited because of that. My energy level has gone up. The meaning in my life has really opened up, and also a lot of vitality, vital energy is there, right? So I don't feel like I'm 71 going to be January 18th. I feel like maybe 30, 40, something like that. The energy is there, but the purpose is there too. So nobody wants to say anything. Did you understand what I'm talking about? Do you feel this is needed for us? I'm not talking about going to the systems and making big changes. I'm talking about daily changes in how you wake up, how you go to work, how you do things there, how do you react, How do you come home? How do you put your reactions under control and enjoy that peace of mind, enjoy that joy and happiness within you, and really not being dependent on so many things. It's like a personal transformation that you allow yourself to go through. So it's a lot of homework, a lot of self work, but no dependence on anybody. Okay, you just
instead of yeah,
yeah,
it's nice. We are all trying to become something, but we are not recognizing the being itself
yeah. You don't have to
constantly.
become.
Yeah.
Recognize what you are
Yeah.
already. That's it.
That's right. But we are trying to become something instead of recognizing who we are at first to the being.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. Another thing is, don't tell me other people and all that. What is that I am doing? That makes a difference. Everybody tells me, oh, everybody responds as though it is not happening with them. What is happening
No,
with
it is with me as well. Yeah,
yeah.
previously, yeah.
The tendency is to say, oh, everybody is like that. No, no, we're not talking about everybody. We're talking about ourselves
Yeah.
here and now.
I was trying to be becoming something, and
Yeah.
then without realizing that I have not even touched the being of me.
Yeah, yeah. That's it. Just to recognize your being. That's where it is. It's not about becoming something. Just be. Ramana Maharshi said something called no meditation, just be. No becoming, just be. Just be. That's a big deal for people because we are caught in the chatter of the mind all the time. So you got to initiate something that you want to know, or you got to tell me what you like. Sharmi said, that is correct. You don't have to become anything. We just have to realize what we are already. You can understand your chronic illness by paying attention to that is as it is now, but you can trace back to understanding why did I become diabetic, because I'm not eating properly, I'm not doing all those things. But you have done this years and years, and that resulted in this metabolic disorder. Now you correct those factors as much as possible, and actually, even in the genome and genetic workup, we have established now the epigenetics which cause this all these disorders. They are triggered by our environment and also what we do with ourselves. So, if you can change those lifestyles, you can change those epigenetics, not the central core, but the epigenetics. So you don't necessarily have to have diabetes just because your mom and dad has it, but you don't produce the trigger for that.
For some people, yeah, yeah, they just they just understand. Yeah. Anyways, I have to only talk about myself, but I just because they know mom is having,
No,
they start to
what
instantly
I'm saying
fear.
is you can understand the problem, Sharmi, but some people, everybody, that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about ourselves. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
See what I said? Let our living be the light for others. You don't have to say anything. Your living will be the light for others. But you don't do it to change others. You are changing yourself, and then not being selfish either, but just being responsible for yourself. Okay?
Yeah. Mhm.
See, you set out to change people in the coaching, but you are not following it. How can they be, right? They don't want to follow us. But I'm saying my mind is all going all over and thinking, 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 but I don't have the taste of stillness. How can I relate to people? Be still. So I tell them, I wake up, I kind of don't allow my mind to run. I stay there for a while, and then I kind of come to the morning routine. There also, I tell them, be here and now and take the presence to the work, not the chattering mind, not the planning, not all that. Even if you plan something, there will be steps leading to the goal, right? Focus on each step. That is living in the present moment. See, what is present moment for you, Shami, is your mind is going other people are there. You be aware of that. Then it will drop. Then you say, okay, what is happening here? I can only do myself. I cannot really influence other people. But because you're flowering from inside, that will touch other people. I am doing it more like a educational, empowering movement of the where the healthcare system is and how I can really make a difference by really telling them my understanding and how I am living. You get it?
Mm.
So it's not about others, it is about how I am living and how I'm communicating. Because I see the suffering, right? Like so many of my friends come to me, oh, I have this problem, that problem, whatever. So out of compassion, you have to work with them, not as a business. But then you see with the same compassion why humanity is going through so much chronic illness, why humanity has so much mental illness, what is that we are doing wrong that was not there in the ancients. Then you look at and learn, and then you bring and then invite people to go and investigate that. See, people want to just uh, say things, or why do many people listen to these things and don't change? Because they don't think that they have to change somebody else's problem. you know oh, out there in the intellectual world is happening and all that, so they will go away, but the state of health wellness will be the same, and this is getting worse. It's not getting better. It's not like people are getting repaired completely and they're getting back to health and doing. No, they're maintaining the diseases continuously and then making them more sick than less sick. Why that I don't have any medications on myself? Why most people have to have medications? Because there's a reason. You have to work on it. So, Prasad, what do you say? How do you feel about this?
Yeah, this is very enlightening talk, Dr. Rao. People like me in many instances, even today, after listening, think that we need a quick fix. But as you explained, this is not a quick fix. And it comes with the practice, focus, and practice again.
Yeah.
We have to come out of the loop that we are in today.
Yeah.
Like the mouses in a mouse wheel. We don't know how far we would run, how long we would run either.
Only one word solution, Prasad. Awareness.
Yes.
Awareness of where we are, why did we come here, is an understanding inside. But don't regret it. Don't blame yourself, because this is so. So, for example, I was talking to somebody this morning, and they were having some daughters, right? And those daughters pursued the careers, pursued the money making, and that's the only thing that they are after, like most of them are. But they were happy when things are proper going. Suddenly they had deaths, they had disease, they had problems. Then suddenly their mind is going all over, they don't have any peace. What I am saying is, you don't have to have the mind like that. You can develop an inner resilience so that you can accept life as it is presenting to you. Not saying it has to be like this. I always use the example. Suppose I'm going to Fort Lauderdale for the beach, and we have a lot of plans about playing in the beach on the day when we get up, and then we're going to change our clothing and run into the sea and play till the end of the day and come and eat food and all that, right? And then you go there, and suddenly it is pouring down. So you got to be confined to the hotel all day. So it's a kind of your expectations and what life presents. Wise people are, they don't allow the mind to go completely, into that expectation game. Rather, accepting things as they are presenting to you in the present. That is wise. And our ancient showed us that. Be in the present. Present moment is the life. You can bring in the insights of the yesteryear, that's fine, but don't live in the past. Now, what I'm saying is our healthcare system needs to look at itself. Is there a better way I can do? Is there a better way I can protect my health? Don't come under the influence of the commercial interests of so many. The doctors themselves, healthcare systems themselves, insurance companies, pharmaceuticals, food industry, entertainment industry, all these are working against your health and wellness. Wise up. Take responsibility for yourself. Don't let your mind go all over. Don't have so many digital stimulations. Don't sacrifice fundamental things, moving the body, keeping the mind silent or attentive to only what you is meaningful for you. And sleep well. Watch what you are eating. Watch how you are eating and enjoy that. And also, don't build up too many things into the future. Live one day at a time, one moment at a time, and see how it happens. Some people want intellectual goals like I'm going to change this world, and then that is where I'm such a big deal. That's all ego talking. Don't be in that. Be in your real inner spirit, and that is what really keeps the mind silent too. So simple things I say all the time: move the body, keep the mind silent, take water, deep breathe, and rest and sleep qualitatively, and live in the present moment. That's the formula. So, anybody else wants to say anything? Avichal, what did you get out of this?
Sir, it was like a revision for me.
Yeah.
I had not been there since a long time, so I'm treating this as a revision for me, and yeah, it's very relevant.
Yeah. It's relevant for all our life. That's why I want to make this a movement, with starting with each person. They don't have to submit to me or they don't have to do anything extraordinary. Just understand and take the principles and apply so that your own energy, your own health, your own chronic illnesses will go down, mental illness will go down, and then you also have this touching the joy. See, ancient wisdom taught me atyadika dukkha nivritti. You can develop the capacity, inner resilience that will transcend extraordinary suffering. That is the inner resilience it can do. Other thing is Paramananda Prapti. That means the immense joy, irrespective of what is outside, is possible for you to go inward and find out. Happiness is inside, joy inside, peace inside. And you touch that, then you can come out and help the world. Other principle they said was Atmano Mokshardam. And second thing is Jagat Hitaicha. Atmano Mokshardam means you transcend your chattering mind and ego and discover the liberation from them. That is Atmano Mokshardam. And once you realize who you are established in that, you are abundant. You don't need anything. So you go out and help the world. Not that the world is beneath you, but world needs that compassion. Without building your ego, you just go and work for it. I'm going to leave you with 3 or 4 principles that anybody can follow. One is do something that is beyond you, greater than you. Contribute to the country, contribute to the society, contribute to the life, whatever, your institution, your family, whatever, right? That's number one. Second thing is be devoted to the power that is going around us, that is creating our world. We call it God or consciousness, whatever. So surrender to that. Okay. And once you do that, take twice a day a break from your mental chatter. Sit down, calm down, make it a habit for the kids. They are doing it in the kindergarten also, uh, like a, uh, they tell them all the time, okay, quiet time, quiet time. In the quiet time, you can talk anything, you can blurt out anything, you can speak. And they made them learn that twice a day. Okay. And finally, really know who you are. You are beyond the body and mind, you are the spirit inward. These four, if you can do them, that will be wonderful for you. Shalu, what do you think?
Yes, Dr. Rao. Of course, Dr. Rao. Everything I am listening and trying to understand. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, Dr. Rao. I could take it till there. Yeah. In between had to move out, but then yes, what you said is very correct. That take the moment at a time. At that particular minute, drink some water.
Mm.
And take deep breath.
Yeah.
Have a night. That is what is in our hand.
Yeah. See that?
A good night's sleep.
Yeah. It's actually very simple once you have these principles in your head. Okay. Get up in the morning. The first thing you do is don't allow your planning, your guides, everything comes into rushing into your head. Delay it a little bit from the time you have woken up, till the time the first thought comes. That gap you want to increase every day. One simple thing for that is do 3 to 10 deep breaths and keep your attention on the touch of the air coming in and out. That is the life force. That is God for you that's coming and giving you life. If you just do that and then delay the I thought and the related things, everything for at least few minutes, few times, so you can take a look at the life around you. So that's how you want to start the day. So you work yourself into the present moment, into your own presence. Take the presence to whatever you do in life, retired, working, whatever, and pay attention to everything and live that moment through the day. Do some work, selfless work. And then at the end of the day, review the whole day and dump all the thoughts before you go to sleep. Then mind will work to help itself to repair. Okay? All this is self-responsibility. Don't listen to me one day and go away and do the same thing. Change that routine and then go on working on it. It takes some time to really go out of the old habits. But once you have done that, then you will see I'm more awake, alert, and I'm energetic. I know what is going on with my body and mind, and I don't want to rush to other people. Am I doing the pillars of wellness? Am I eating vital food? Am I eating in the right way? Am I eating only when I'm hungry? All these things are you can do. And then see, am I moving around or am I sitting down for a long time? All you have to do is, if you are sitting down doing work for half an hour, 1 hour, put a note, either 15 minutes, half an hour, 1 hour. Get up and walk around the room and sit down. That itself makes a lot of difference. Avoid prolonged sitting. Okay? Or do the exercise while sitting. I showed you the head to toe yoga you can do sitting in the chair. Do that 2 or 3 times. Takes 5 to 10 minutes. Or what's called you can do 100 steps after the meal. All I do is I take a long room and then walk forward and backward in the same way, and then 5 rounds like that, 100. Shat Pavali, they call it. Shat means 100, Pavali means feet. Simple thing. Do that. That's the important thing. It's not about understanding, it's about praising. It's not about that. It's about is that behavior coming into you. There's no religion in this. Just attending to the physical body, mental body, now. Keep the mind quiet by attending only what you need, and then after work is done, don't build your ego to go around it. Drop it. How? Paying attention to the next thing that you are going to do. Give your complete attention. Don't give me all these mental arguments, intellectual arguments, and all that. That's not why wisdom. Wisdom comes from your own silent being. Okay? Pay attention. Am I doing this or not? So how you eat is important. How what you take is important, and really understanding all the sciences of nutrition, Ayurveda, everything is good. They give you a good idea about what is vitality, what is vital for exercise. Variety of exercise. Just walk, just run, just move, or just do some stretching or yoga or Chinese medicine. Any number of things are there, right? Whatever you like, and then be in the present moment with the conversations, with the work, with everything that you do. And at the end of the day, unwind yourself. At the end of the day, not only unwinding yourself, but also developing a habit of quality sleep. So if you do all these things, you will be on the path to wellness, which is complete human being. So before I close, anybody has any questions or comments, anything that you want to tell me about, you can come up and tell me. Then I will answer that and we will close. I would like to have discussion about these things with you guys because I want to give my perspective and what I'm doing. If I'm wrong, tell me about it. If I'm right, tell me about what you do or what is working for you. Do you understand, first of all, this health care status is pretty dire and we're spending too much money without really having the results? Where is your responsibility for that? And if you understand, do you understand these simple things that you could do for yourself? And are you doing it? Or are you doing it by habit or by pattern or by unconsciousness? Most of the people are unconscious. They don't know what's going on in their life. They don't know what's going on in their body and mind. But this kind of discussions, education, empowerment is for them. Not looking down, but showing them how the system has evolved such a way that people are getting hurt because the system is doing all this and they don't have responsibility for that. It's like whom we elect is our responsibility, right? If you elect people that are not worthy, they will hurt us with policies, right? So, anybody else? Sharvi, Shalu, Avichal, Tarani, Chinaka. Anybody has any question or comment or?
Sir, I have a quick question.
Yeah.
So basically, I have realized this. I've worked in healthcare for quite some time, so I've realized the importance of health. And I have tried to do 10,000 steps a day.
Yeah.
So when you talked about your shat pad after the food, so this question I just wanted to ask your view on this thing going on, which says that we should walk around 10,000 steps per day. What do you think about that?
It's not about the number of steps, it's about intensity. Okay, you have high impact, high HIT, they call it HIT, right? That is important because your cardiovascular system has to respond to the strain that you are giving progressively. That way you can train and this after the eating, if you do this very simple thing that you could do. And this number of steps and all this also kind of um, not really very enticing because it's not about the steps, it is about the movement. Okay, it's about intensity, it's about cardiovascular workout. Okay, when you are aerobic exercise, you are doing a walking or you can walk very slowly 10,000 steps, it doesn't give you the effect of on the cardiovascular that much. It is still good, it's still good, but people are going, oh, I'm doing 10,000 but I'm walking slowly. So suppose you are walking, right, Avijal, and then putting one foot after another, and then you are bending your elbows and then moving arms up and down. That will increase your so you're having a wrist weights or ankle weights and then walking. That will increase the intensity. So it's a question of training. So you want to do 5,000 one day, next to 6,000, then eventually to 10,000. Maintain that. That's one thing. But your casual walk you're taking, that's okay, but it's not going to be as good. You're actually not having quality of exercise. See, at least people have to motivate them. So just they feel like, oh, I was not able to move. Now I can move this much. That's fine. But why after the eating? Because yogic practices are about not settling down in the body. Because body when settled down builds up what's called tamas, lazy energy, okay, which is not good for you, which will enhance chronic diseases, inflammatory conditions, and all that. That's why they said if you don't have much time, if you don't have much space, take one room and then Iowa is very cold outside. So it's much easier for me to. I have a treadmill. I have a under the table treadmill as I recently bought. So when I'm talking, I'm doing room, I can walk and then talk at the same time. There are so many modern facilities, technology, but also we have the ancient way of doing it. So what the simple thing is get up and walk 10 feet front and then don't turn around, walk back 10 feet. That will increase your intensity. 20 steps are done one time. 5 times you do it, 100 steps are done. See, this was taught, and people don't have this modern equipment, modern ways of doing things, and all, countering steps and all that. But it is not about the step number; it's about how intensely you are doing it. You can start with that, make a habit of that. That's a very good thing, Avishal. You can do that, but innovate ways to see what it is you cannot settle down after certain intensity. You got to increase to get the same benefit before. Yeah. So that's why yoga is very good in the sense it does work on the inner mechanisms. People don't realize it's not just about cardiovascular, but it will come. Cardiovascular benefit is there, but flexibility. Also, what does flexibility mean? All your tensions, everything will go away. So your metabolic energy works very well. So you're going to be more vital. Why did they live 123 years on an average age? Because they understood the Anda, Brahmanda, Pinda. That means small cells to the gross bodies they understood. Okay, that's the genius of that meditative awareness, and they understood lots of things we are trying to prove now as modern scientists, which is okay. It's wonderful actually to discover all that. So if you can get up from whatever you eat and then walk in 5 minutes, 100 steps, that's the minimum you can do. It's good that you are doing 10,000 steps, but that just thinking, oh, I have achieved something because I'm doing 10,000 steps, that is false. You're not getting the benefit. Yeah. As you're supposed to. Suppose I say, okay, Vijay, put on the ankle weights, put on the wrist weights, and then raise your arms and do up and down, do the 10 steps. That effect is very good for you. Suppose you don't do any walking, right? And then I tell you, hold on to the chair, Abhijal, and get on one foot and extend the other foot back. And then let the hands go and put them front and then stay there for a few minutes. Your heart will race. That's a very good aerobic activity for you without moving anything. Try that next time. Get up and then stand on one foot, hold on to the chair for some time, then let it go and try to stand on one leg at a time for a while. See how your heart is beating, and then you say, oh my God, this is pretty good aerobic exercise. See, you are not familiar with all this yogic science because that was not taught. I am a student still of the ancient wisdom because they are so profound, so deep, so complete. We are trying to understand them, leave alone bringing into our life. Why you're born in India? Why you guys don't know is complete because we are not taught. That's why I thought, as somebody who understood, who is living it, I will air it out, and I'm not interested in making anybody converts or anything like that. Okay, I'm interested in healthy human beings in a total sense. Even my morning routine that I do every day, that is meant for people to prepare themselves for the work, not to generate stress and burnout, but to enjoy the work, enjoy the contribution, and come home fulfilled. But at the same time, not accumulating all this. Even if you do, I'll teach you ways to get rid of that before you go to bed. Do the 10,000 Vishal, but increase your intention, intensity. Okay?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. That's a good question. It's a very practical question. And it's not about fancy learning or all. It's about making our daily life more of this and also more of spiritualized. Okay? So, all right, with that, nobody has any comments or questions. I'll leave now. Okay?
Thank you, Doctor.
Okay. Bye bye now.
Thank you, doctor.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Bye.